Hello, welcome to the Connect 0007 experience. Here, we come to the podcast where human connection is everything. If you're trying to connect better with those around you, you're in the right spot. So please, sit back, relax, open your mind, and enjoy the experience. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon or evening, whatever time it is that you are listening to this podcast. I am the host of this amazing podcast. My name is Thaddeus Sims, and today's episode is our 59th episode titled, Everybody is an Answer to a Prayer. So, before diving into this, I would like to say I released a new service on the website. So if anybody wants to impact the future of the podcast, you can join a tier on the membership page on the website. The link will be in the description. So if you wanted to pretty much add a fun fact or suggest literally an episode for something that I may have not covered, by all means, or you want to give advice to other people, the opportunity is available for you. So check that out. And moving to the fun fact is an eagle can kill a young deer and fly away with it. And I was just like, oh, wow, that's kind of dry, cut straight to the point. And I was just like, okay. And then I thought about it. I did actually see a video. It was on Facebook. I actually think there was an eagle. Either it was trying to pick up a little deer. Wow. I actually think I seen a video of that. Wow. That's crazy. Or it was a dog. I don't know. But it was some type of animal that you just would have never seen. But that eagle was huge. And I did not think eagles got that big. I just kind of figured, they would. I don't know. I didn't think they were that huge. Like I'm thinking they land on my arm. Oh, dangerous. But, you're kind of cool. But you can pick a whole little deer up? Nah, it's okay. So I learned, don't underestimate an eagle. And I'm very glad that I'm tall because I wouldn't want to be confused for a smaller animal. And they try to take me because I'm going to be a disappointment. I don't have that much meat on my bones like I did, in high school. So there's that. But let us dive into this episode. So everybody is an answer to a prayer. And before diving into this, I would like to say, where did all of this come from? And I'm not going to go too much into the story, but lately I have really just been learning a lot of things. A lot of stuff has just been made aware to me. And I've been reading this awesome book, and it's really good. And I will go more into that on another episode. But I like to get stuff first and really be able to share it later, like I understand it. I'm not just saying stuff with you guys and I haven't fully done it myself. So that's why I'm not saying the name of the book. But there was a part in the book that really stood out to me. And I mentioned a little bit of this in an earlier podcast. It was a while ago. But there was a snippet in there that I'm going to actually read to you all just so you can see where we're coming from. But before sharing the snippet, it's just really cool because it just really shows how we are all connected. And as you know, this is the podcast all about human connection. And it's just really amazing to me just when you read something and you experience it and it just changes perspective. And when I read this gave me so much fuel to do the podcast even more. Not saying that I was lacking it, but it just changed my perspective. And it's just like, whoa, okay, it really changed a lot of things up. And I'm going to share this. I'm going to share the quote or the snippet now. And this is something I want you all to think about as well. I'm going to share a few things with you afterwards, but here's the snippet. So going in. It says, so the next time you have inspiration, rejoice knowing that a group of people, small or large, is actively asking you and awaiting on you to fulfill their desires. In other words, somewhere around the world, people are praying very hard just for the thing you are inspired to do. You are the answer to their prayers, and they are the answer to yours. Everybody is an answer to a prayer. We are all gifts and miracles to each other. Even though we may not immediately see how that is so, there is nothing to worry about except for worry itself. You succeed. That is all you ever do. And listening to this, I just figured, wow, this is actually a really, really good episode to talk about. I was just like, wow, this is really, really amazing. And it made me think, for the podcast that I do, it's just funny because I didn't really think of it as, wow, there are people who've actually been asking for a podcast to help people connect with other people. Like, I didn't think of it that way. It was more of a, I have a gift with connecting with people and I just want to share with people. But I did not know, I didn't think of it that way, that there's actually, it's just cool, like thinking like, wow, people have been praying for this. People have been asking for this podcast. And I happened to get the message, so to speak, and decided to create a podcast just specifically for that. So what's really cool is for you all, if you have I would say an idea or an inspiration and you've been kind of maybe holding back on it or not really sure on should I do it or not, blah, 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 I would highly recommend you definitely go for it and do it. It's just pretty interesting because think about it. You may have an inspiration to start a business or create some type of artwork or some type of contraption, some new technology. And to think that people have been asking for that. And in some way, somehow, through the connection, through the universe, we're all connected. So through the universe, some way, somehow, you get the message and you are really answering those people's prayers, right? So that is on that end. But then if you think about it as well, on the opposite end, you are the answer to other people's prayers as well. That one I can definitely say I have experienced because I personally have met really interesting people. And for some odd reason, I just felt like I just knew I was supposed to talk with this person. Like I'll go somewhere and a person will just stand out to me. It's just something about their energy. And I just like, I need to talk with that person. I don't know why. I don't know what it's about. I'm going to go randomly walk up to this individual. And I do that. So if you're one of those people I randomly like walked up to and you actually listen to the podcast, chances are there was something about you and I just had to like speak with you. So doing that, I have talked with some people randomly and they would say something and there was just messages that was just coming through to me to just tell them. And they would just look at me like, oh my gosh, I really needed to hear that. Or I was about to do this, but you're telling me that it's just confirms blah, blah. And it's just like, wow, like for me, it was just like, wow, okay, you literally was a catalyst or you were the messenger for whatever it may be for the universe, right? And vice versa. There has been times where I have been thinking of things and I meditated and it would come to me and I would just go live my life and someone would literally say something and it will just confirm or it will stand out as like, I needed to hear that. So what's cool about the whole human connection that we have is just, it's amazing how all of us are answers to each other's prayers. We're actually gifts to each other and miracles. And for me, it baffles me in a way, not really baffles, but I feel, I want to say not sad, but I can't think of the right word, but I feel a certain type of way, like a sorry. I feel sorry for some people who say, oh, I'm not friendly, or I don't like talking with people, or I don't like dealing with people, or this, that, and the other. And it's just like, dang, you're really missing out on so many like amazing things that could happen, connections, like because that's what I'm looking for, resisting talking with people or just whatever it may be, you're missing out on like the things you've probably been asking for. And the person that you always walk past, like whatever your daily routine, you always walk past a person. That person could be literally an opportunity that will change your life. And it just, for me, I don't say nothing anymore because people are going to do what they want to do. But if I feel like my intuition is saying, hey, you should tell that person something, maybe not maybe I do it because my intuition won't let me not do it. But I really do just feel sorry for people. So if you're one of those people and you're listening to the podcast and you're like, yeah, I don't really like people, I don't really deal with people, I'm antisocial, I'm a loner, I'm a this, that, and the other, by all means, do you. But I will tell you, there are some amazing people out there. And when you have been asking and praying and all of that for people, like for yourself, is going to be a person. And I say this to combat people who say, man, I don't need people. But I'm like, okay, in order for you to be successful in whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to need a person. And people look at me like, no, I don't. I'm like, okay, name something that you're currently doing and tell me that no person was behind that. And I had someone really, I don't know if they were just messing with me, but there's like, okay, well, I do music, so no one's helping me with that. I'm doing that. I'm like, okay, did you create the software? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, did you create the computer? No. I was like, okay, but let's pretend you did. Let's just pretend you did all of that. You created all of that. You're making this music. You want to do what with it? Then they thought about it. They were like, I'm like, yeah, you want to share it with people, or you want people to buy your music, or I'm like, people are behind that. You're going to need people. People are the answer to your prayers. So I'm not telling you all to change like this if you're a loner type of thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm an ambivert, so I'm both. I need to be around certain people sometimes, and then other times I need to be completely alone in a dark room, nice, cold, and dark, and I don't want to hear nobody breathe. But all I'm saying is, for those who are very, I stay to myself, I don't like to deal with people, chances are you are definitely missing out on so much. And we are very social creatures. And some of the things that I have learned in my experience, please don't quote me on this, but some of the people that I have encountered, a lot of them will either be somewhat depressed or sad or whatever it may be. And what would have helped them, or what can help them, is an actual connection to a person. And when I say connection, I don't mean like, the crappy stuff we see, around us or TV, like actual genuine like connections with people. Because you may be going through something like deep and dark and you're not telling no one, but you may meet someone and this person may change your life literally and get you out of that funk and depression. That person, again, could be the answer to your prayers. And really, another thing just to add to that is just don't forget, we are all a very interdependent society. So regardless, wherever you go, you're going to need people. Whatever it is, you're going to need people. You can deny this all you want, but you're going to need people. And people are going to need you. So don't get it twisted. Like, people are definitely going to need you. You do have a purpose. You have an inspiration. You have an ability, a gift that's going to help a lot of people. So you sharing that is literally helping so many people. And I say this because I have seen it time and time again where people would do things and they just think, oh, this is what I like to do. And the next thing you know, somewhere down the line, someone comes out and say, man, you don't know it, but you said this or you said that, and that really changed my perspective on life. I started to do this more. I started to do that more. And it's just, and I think they're going to be okay with this, but just a shout out to just a few people who literally were answers to my prayers, and I'm very grateful that they're in my life because of their gifts. There's a really cool person. If you're in South Florida, let me say that specifically, West Palm Beach Gardens area, there's this really awesome girl I know, and her Facebook page is Angelic Taste, and she makes amazing like vegan alkaline food. And she just loves being in the kitchen. You just can't get her out of the kitchen. It's very funny. Like, I pick on her all the time. I'm like, yeah, you you say you're going to get out the kitchen, but I'm going to see a post 2 hours from now. You done thought of a whole new recipe. And it's just really cool because her gift, that's her love language. She loves sharing it with people, and she's growing her business through that. There's another good friend of mine who makes music as well. And I love his style, and just talking with him, like just him sharing things with me has charged me up as an individual. Not just that, but I call my auntie Rhonda. I didn't give you last name. I know you listen to the podcast, but you know, I love her. She's always supportive, and she sends amazing messages and stuff to me and the rest of the family. And she just has a good energy, and she's super, super cool. And I know I'm very grateful she's in my life, and I know that she's literally an answer to my prayers as well. And not only that, guys, but again, you are an answer to other people's prayers. You may not know it, you may not see it, but you just being you, people literally will be watching you. And they may not tell you until later on down the line, but people literally are watching you. So with that being said, guys, you get the gist. Everybody is a prayer to someone. You are a gift. If you have an idea, that's the last thing I wanted to say. Sorry. If you do have an idea, a thought, or something that is on your mind, or a burning desire to create something, you are literally receiving messages from the universe, from the collective consciousness that, hey, there is a group of people praying for this, and you are the ideal match to give them what they want. Give the people what they desire. You are the ideal match for it. And when it keeps growing, and it keeps like it's an idea that's burning in your mind, let it out. People are praying. So let me just give you this. People are praying for this. Don't look at it as just you, like, okay, I'm doing this. What do I think? If you shift your perspective to, okay, this is a burning desire. Like, for example, have this mindset. I don't know about you, but growing up, when our hands or the palms of our hands were itchy, we was always just like, oh, that must mean I'm going to get some money, right? I don't know where that came from, but it's just a thing. So every time my palms get itchy, I'm like, oh, I must be getting some money soon. My palms itchy. And don't worry, my hands clean. Because I know I'm sometimes like, maybe your hands dirty. It's like, nah, my hands clean. But shift and basically create something where it's just like, wow, I have this burning desire. It must be a lot of people praying for this. So when you say it that way, it charges you up in a different perspective. Then it's just like you're gifting everybody or the world with it. So if there is some idea that you have just been sitting on, and it has been on your mind day in and day out, that is what you're feeling is people praying for this. People are praying for you to make it happen. And I'm going to tell it to you like this, since you're listening to this. So if this is an alignment, I'm going to be a messenger. If I'm sitting here praying for X, Y, and Z, and you have X, Y, and Z, and you're not doing nothing about it, I'm going to be real upset. I'm going to be real mad. And as a matter of fact, let me find out one of y'all who listens to the podcast. What is it? It's August. Let me find out that one of y'all done had an idea, and I've been praying about this since August. And y'all will tell me, oh, I had this idea since like last year, and I just started on it. And it's what? Last year is 2019, last year 2018, and you just started on in 2020. I'm going to be real upset. And then if I find out you listen to the podcast, I'm going to really be upset. Like, bro, I've been praying for this and you've been slacking. You've been taking your precious time on this, and I have been praying for it. Like, I feel some type of way. And if you are feeling it heavy, I'm not the only one. So I can literally say all of us been sitting here praying for this, been asking for this, been meditating on this. We've been writing it down, visualizing it, putting it on our vision board, and your ass didn't want to do it. I'm upset. And now you start to do it. 2020, I've been waiting on you. I'm upset. I'm very upset. So if you're that person, I'm coming for you. Just know that. But with love, though. With love. Not animosity and not anger. I want to be anger, but it will be with love. So with that being said, I'm going to leave it there. That was that for that segment of the podcast. Though, literally though, I don't know where this is coming from, but I've really been wanting to come for some people lately. No one in particular. So I don't know. I might let this marinate in me a little bit, and I find out later, and one of y'all tell me, Thad, I heard your podcast, and I had this idea, and I was thinking of doing this, and I'm like, didn't I pray about this? Like, August, and he just not doing this, and he very qualified for it. Okay, let me start off nice. And congratulate him. Let me wait for him to get it out there, do whatever he or she or them, and they get it out there. And once it's out there and once I support them and buy whatever it is, then that's when I come for their life. Like, okay, hey, I'm very grateful for this. I'm very appreciative. I just want you to know I love you. I appreciate you. But I was praying about this since August, and you've been playing games. So therefore, I feel as though you need your ass whooped. But that's just what I want to say. I say that, but I don't think I'm going to do it. Apparently, I'm too nice. But anyways, moving on to the next segment. So, health is wealth, right? And again, this whole segment is because I want to give you guys something extra. And I want you guys to be better. I'm working on removing the word want out of my vocabulary. So please excuse me. I'm really working on this. So I desire for you all to become healthier. And I desire for you all, with each episode, more about a healthy food that you can incorporate into your diet. And it will have you feeling better, thinking better, doing better, not cussing anyone out, and also having energy. Because apparently energy is a hot thing right now to have. So, yeah, there's that. So the food of the day is kale. Everybody heard of kale? If you haven't heard of kale, it's a leafy green. It's really, really good for you. And for some of you, you're probably like, oh, that's a vegetable. I'm allergic to vegetables. Vegetables don't do it for me. I'm going to tell it to you like this. Y'all don't listen to the podcast long enough. I feel like we're close enough for me to just say it and tell it to you like it is. I'm going to just tell it to you like this. When y'all be coming at me with this, oh, I don't like this vegetable, or I don't like this and it tastes this certain way, or blah, 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 and you over here coughing and sneezing and saying, oh, I'm always sick and my immune system, I be wanting to fight y'all. I really do. Like I've worked on that enough to where I don't visualize punching y'all in the throat. So I just leave it alone. But I'm gonna need y'all to wean yourself on this and eat better so you can feel better. It's for you. I ain't trying to convert you, but I'm just saying, add something different into your diet. You're gonna feel so much better. Like, really, you will. And then next thing you know, you're gonna be able to do more things. You're gonna be able to do that activity. You're not going to be able to just sit in there buying, I don't know what people buy now for your nose and coughing and all that. You're going to be feeling better. And then you're saving money. You're saving money, guys. I'm trying to help you. But enough of that. I digress. So kale, it's a leafy green. The benefits is it's packed with nutrients. It promotes bone health, keeps inflammation at bay, protects the heart, supports eye health, protects your DNA, and helps fight depression. Also, it's alkaline. And also, for some reason, my intuition wants me to tune in on the word inflammation for some people. So, I don't know. I guess I'm getting the message from a couple of you guys. But, so yeah, the inflammation. Now, all right, not a lot of us. Some people get inflammation and it causes aches and stuff like in the bones and nerves and whatnot. And usually with inflammation, it could be either a lot of acidity, an injury, whatever it may be. Everybody's a little different. But with inflammation, when you're experiencing pain and stuff, something is usually inflamed. And it helps when you have things that keeps that inflammation at bay. There are lots of things that helps with that. Me personally, I'm the type to go to the source and just start kind of removing things that causes your body to be in an acidic state, like dairy, but we're not going to go there. So inflammation, it's really good. It keeps all of that inflammation down. Sorry, inflammation is not good. Kale helps with keeping that down. So in a sense, if you're really not getting that, just think of it as it's almost like a painkiller, and it keeps that pain at bay. There you go. And Also, the random fun fact, I guess, about me and kale. This is gonna sound really weird, but it really energizes me a lot. I don't know if it has something to do. I don't know if kale's supposed to energize you. And it's probably gonna sound really weird, but it's okay. We're close enough. But like the minute kale touches my tongue, I'm just energized. It's so weird, right? So, how to eat kale? Now, for all of you who don't like it, you don't like the taste of it, whatever it is, do it like our parents did us. Put it in your food and pretend it's not in there. So, personally, I'm gonna help you with that. I would say do a smoothie, blend it into a smoothie, and you're good. I like to do it just in a salad. For me, I don't know about y'all, but I like sweets. So I have to make the salad sweet. So I will have let's just say a kale salad with a bunch of other greens, but we'll just stick for kale for now. I have kale. I put a little bit of agave syrup on there, and I like a little tang or whatever. It's fresh squeezed lime juice, and I get a bunch of like fruits. So strawberries, blueberries, cantaloupe, all that other stuff to make it really sweet. And I just eat it that way. Add some hemp seeds in there and we good. So you can put it in a salad. That's really good. Steaming it is good. I do that sometimes. I don't know about y'all, but if, for some of my people who really loves collard greens, you can make kale taste like collard greens if you hook it up right. You're going to steam it. So the only thing about it is that when you steam it, a huge bag is like super, super small. So if you want an actual decent meal for you, you may need like 3 bags of kale, just enough for you. For a whole family, you're going to need a lot more than that because when you steam it, it shrinks. It depends on how long you steam it too. There's that. But you can season it up. I personally like it. Sometimes if I'm feeling fancy, I'll steam it a little bit. Maybe put in some type of like nuts in there, kind of give it a crunchy taste. And maybe some mushrooms, some onions, all types of stuff. You can hook it up. Also, they have kale chips. So that's out too. You can do it that way. And then I also just said smoothies. So yeah, guys, you can actually incorporate this in your diet. I think there are other things that you can do with it. I don't know if there's a dip for it. I think that people make a dip out of it. How? I'm not sure. But people do things with it. It's very creative. So you can incorporate it in your diet, guys. And it'll be really good for you. It's not something that I'd say like go crazy about. But find somebody who really eats kale a lot and they can hook it up. Or YouTube it. That works out. But it's really good for you guys. I eat it. I mostly do watercress and arugula, but kale is really, really good too. So there's that, guys. And with that being said, that is it. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week, and anything that you have been working on, praying over, asking for, I hope and desire that you receive it all. And random, but if you are currently in a space right now that you're not happy with, maybe not rock bottom, but if rock bottom and just also not in a pleasant space that you're not happy with, just one thing I will tell you is really look at what's going on for what it is. Like actually face it and ask yourself, what is it that this is teaching me? And once you do that, things will start opening up for you. And once you do that, then you'll start working your way out of those situations or out of that dark spot. So I don't know, that was random. I guess some people needed to hear this. I don't know. I'm just going with the intuition. But with that being said, that is it, guys. And you are all loved. You are amazing. And I will talk to you this Friday. All right. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Please leave a 5-star rating and share with a friend near you. Remember, the world's a better place because you exist. Know your worth and know thyself.